Well, hello there, long time no see. I've taken a little break if you haven't noticed, and it was really wonderful and refreshing. And I know some of you have had questions, and I've collected those questions and I'm going to answer them today. So let's get to it. Hey friends, just wanted to pop in here real quick and say a big thank you for getting me to a milestone, 1,000 subscribers, because that's like an auditorium full of you homeschool moms and dads out there. So thank you for being part of my little tribe. And let's get back to the video. So if you're new here, I'm Xuan and I'm a homeschool mom of 3, and I've been homeschooling for 7 years, and I have a almost 13-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 5-year-old. And I used to be a middle school history teacher and AVID coordinator. If you know what AVID is, then high five. If not, that's okay, you don't need to worry about it. And on this channel, I used to share all things about homeschooling, but now I'm thinking of kind of switching up my content a bit because I'm kind of getting bored of these like talking head videos where I'm just talking to you and telling you what I think and what I'm doing and everything homeschooling. It's kind of boring. And so I kind of had to have a bit of a break to realize that I don't want to pigeonhole myself, and thankfully I'm a small channel, so I don't have to pigeonhole myself. I'm not stuck in any sort of hamster wheel. So that being said, let's get to answering your questions. I'm trying to put them in order, but I, don't always have time to do everything I need to do or want to do with kids, so it's good enough, and I'm happy with that. So first question, why did you take a break? Well, as someone who has experienced burnout at various points of my life, I just felt that I was kind of heading towards that, because I did like a little check-in with myself, and I noticed that I wasn't really liking where I was. It just felt like I was on a hamster wheel. And the whole reason why I quit my job as a teacher, why I chose to be a homeschool parent, it's an alternative lifestyle, and being on YouTube and then also on social media and then having a blog as well, I just felt like I was on this hamster wheel of like creating content constantly, churning it out, and it just wasn't enjoyable anymore. And so I just needed to take a break just to kind of reassess and think about what I wanted to do moving forward. And also I was kind of overwhelmed with a lot of work I was doing. I've been training to be a life coach, and I actually finish with the program at the end of this month. And it was like a really serious program. It was like a college class. There was a lot of work to do. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to be launching my coaching program soon. I thought about, do I want to be a homeschool coach? And I'm like, no, because I kind of help more than just homeschoolers. A lot of people in my circle that are not homeschoolers, and I help them with saying no and slowing down and filling up their cup. And so I decided to be a slow living coach. And I'll go into more detail about that in a future vlog, not blog. But I'll go into detail about that in a future vlog. I just wanted to slow down. I just needed a break. Plus the holidays. The holidays always, are chaos. And then it was New Year's, and then I don't always start off the new year with the bang. I always give myself a grace period, and I'm half Asian, so we celebrate the Lunar New Year, and so I always give myself that grace period. All right, so second question is, what have you been doing for these past few months? When did I stopped posting at the end of December, and it is now, you'll be watching this, should come out like during spring, right? So that is 3 months. Yeah, I took a whole season off. That's wonderful. I love that. It's like a sabbatical, right? I always like envied professors that would take sabbaticals. And I had a friend, she was a teacher, but she taught at a private school, and her husband did as well. And they actually lived on campus. They're not there anymore, but they took a sabbatical and they lived in Spain for a year. I'm like, that's so awesome that they did that. And they took their kids with them and everything. So anyways, I'm all for sabbaticals. So I took a sabbatical. That's what I'm going to say, because it makes me feel dignified in some way. And I read a lot of books. I took a lot of notes about just everything in life. I'm like totally in love with field notes right now. I like how small the notebook is, and then I can get like different covers. So it kind of satisfies that like journal lover that I am, even though I buy the journals and then I never use them, or the planners and then never use them. So this is kind of like my go-to. It's small. I can put it in my pocket. I can put it in my, what's it called? My little fanny pack. I don't know, I never liked that word. I just love it. And so I've been gifting it to all of my clients. So if you're on my pro bono client list, I'm gonna get to you soon. I'm just working with a couple clients at a time just to get, get some practice in. I just love them so much. Field notes are awesome. I even got my husband into it and bought him like a little field note wallet and a bunch of field notes as well, so that he can take notes at work. And then it's great because once I'm done with it, I don't feel so bad if I go and recycle it. Like no biggie. Sometimes those like big journals, like I feel guilty for getting rid of them. So anyways, love the field notes. And I've also been going on walks when my kids are in classes, and hiking as well. And yeah, just gardening. My kids and I are trying to grow our own super bloom in our front yard because we're trying to redo the yard. We're planning on putting a fence up in our front yard, and just for more privacy and stuff. So we ripped out a bunch of plants, and then while we're saving money for a fence, because wood is expensive right now. So everything's expensive right now, if I'm being honest. So anyways, we are saving up money for that front yard fence. And in the meantime, I have like a border of rocks, and we've planted some wildflowers. They're just starting to come up. So I can't wait until they do, because I want to have a super bloom so I don't have to deal with the crowds. Because here in Southern California, whenever there's a super bloom, there's just a ton of people out there. And I'd rather just be in my own yard and be happy with that. Oh, my daughter and I have been sewing and making little plushies. Been catching up on all my TV shows. Right now I'm currently into Invasion, which I think is on Apple TV. And I just finished Slow Horses, which I love. Now I want to read all the books. I'm one of those people that if I see a show that I really love and I find out that it's based on books, a book series, then I'm going to read them. I've also been reading all the Sarah J. Maas books, and I'm currently on a Throne of Glass series. I just realized I've also been taking photographs. I've retaken up the hobby of photography, film photography. And so I used to be really into film photography in high school and college. Once I finished college and then went to grad school to become a teacher, I was busy and I put this down, and I really haven't used it until now. And that was a long time ago. I won't tell you how long, because then you'll know my real age, because I'm probably older than most of you. So I've just been enjoying myself. Is it like you can't get water from an empty well? So I'm filling up my well. And it's been glorious. As I come back into YouTube, I'm not going full force. I don't really care about the algorithm gods and what they deem is necessary to push my channel out there. I'm doing this because I want to, and it's fun. And as soon as it doesn't become fun, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm looking at it through a different mindset, and not so much to like grow, get big, and like depend on those ad money, because from all the people I know, unless you have, really high views, you're in the tech scene or something, then or a business or whatever, like you're not going to make a lot of money on YouTube. So that's, one of the reasons why I have my blog. I mean, are you a homeschool mom? If you don't have an Etsy shop, I have an Etsy shop as well. And I also am starting my coaching business. Multiple streams of income. That's my aim here. Okay, next question. What did your kids enjoy most about this school year? They love their classes that they take. All three of my kids are in one art class together, and they love that a lot. So during that art class, I go for a walk, but they love that art class. And then the following day, my oldest son takes another art class. So he takes actually 2 art classes, and they're his favorites to do. He just loves art, and I'm all for it, because I think you need that creative outlet. We all need it. Even if we don't think we're creative, we need that outlet. And it's good to have hobbies, right? So I encourage him to continue with his art. My 2 youngest kids are in a self-directed learning center. We just go 1 day a week, so it's kind of like an unschooling kind of a place. They love that, and I love it too, because I get to sit under a nice little oak tree, and there's some other moms there, but they're usually doing work, and I actually start my day off with a walk or hike, and it's usually about 6 miles round trip that I do. I would like to go more, but I try to make it back in time to have lunch with my daughter, But this last time she had lunch with one of her mentors, her sewing mentor. And so maybe I can go for a longer walk next time. We'll see. My daughter behind me, she's been really into sewing because she's been sewing a ton of things and getting me back into sewing. I used to sew, but I realized that sewing is not something I really enjoy to do. It actually frustrates me because I'm not patient enough. But I'm doing it for her. So, and then my middle son, he's, he just loves going to the learning center, the self-directed learning center, because he can just build things. He's been building planes. They have a 3D printer there, so he's been like 3D printing stuff. My kids are having a good time. They don't really enjoy the regular schoolwork. My oldest son has been doing the Science Unlocked from Home Science Tools, and he really likes that, and I love that. I'm gonna do a whole video about it. I think I kind of did an unboxing video a while back, but I'm gonna film like a whole unit kind of a thing so you can get an idea. I really like it because he can do it on his own. And it's awesome. Everything is there that he needs. Lots of labs and all that stuff. And everything is connected, and there's like some reading material as well. And there's some like extra activities that you can do for like deeper understanding. And it's just really high quality. What's your favorite homeschool memory from this year? I mean, the year's not even over yet, so I don't know yet. We do have a big road trip planned, and I plan on having my son plan the road trip. Start teaching him how to plan for trips and vacations and, budgeting and all that stuff. I think that's gonna be exciting and fun, and we're gonna, make a video about it. We have a lot of hobby channels. We like making videos. Like when I was a teacher, I used to have my students make videos when YouTube like first came out. Like sometimes we would have projects and stuff, and in lieu of writing an essay, they had the option of making videos. Sometimes we would make videos in conjunction with our essays. And so anyways, I just love using video as a medium, I guess. We have a lot of fun things planned coming up. And so I think that will be our highlight. Other than that, I think just, seeing the delight in my kids, like when we're doing any of the science kits, they always have a big smile. When go on field trips, they have a big smile. Even though we haven't gone on many field trips this year like I had planned, just been busy and sick. We've been constantly sick. I feel like we're constantly getting sick, like every 2 to 3 weeks someone's coming down with something. So next question is, what books would you recommend most for homeschooling parents? I have made a video about this, but it came out a while ago when I first started doing YouTube, and yeah, cringe, cringe is all I can say. So I highly recommend anything from Julie Bogart. I highly recommend. I even went to go see her like a few hours north of here. There's a symposium at Beautiful Feet Books, and she was speaking there, and so I went and met her too and got her to sign a book for me. Anything by John Holt is excellent. I should have a list somewhere. I actually have an article as well on my blog, The Homeschool Front, so you can always check that out. That's a much better place to go than to that old video that I made when I first started here on YouTube. Totally uncomfortable. I like the Wild and Free books. Those are good too. Even though I may have problems with Wild and Free groups, I know that most homeschool parents are moms, but at least here in California, especially with a lot of people working from home, more and more dads are involved with homeschooling, and like include the dads too. Don't like separate them from it, get them included in everything. At my iPad right now, I'm on my blog. So How Children Learn by John Holt, The Brave Learner by Julie Bogart, Last Child in the Woods by Richard Louv, The Call of the Wild and Free by Ainsley Armit, The Well-Trained Mind by Susan Wise Bauer, Learning How to Learn by Barbara Oakley, Grit, The Power of Passion and Perseverance by Angela Duckworth, The Self-Driven Child by William Stixrud and Ned Johnson. I'm sure I'm saying those names wrong. Untigering by Iris Chen. Minimalist Homeschooling by Zara Fagan. Atomic Habits by James Clear. And then again, this article was written a while ago, so also The Wild and Free Family and Julie's newest book, what's it called again? Raising Critical Thinkers, I think that's what it's called. And she's coming out with a new companion book for kids. And I actually ordered it, so I'll do a share about that in a future video. Anyways, I'll link that article down below in the description for you. But yeah, those are the books I recommend. There's more. Peter Gray, that's it. Peter Gray. Free to learn. That's a good one too. I need to add that to this list. I need to redo that article. Next question is, where's your husband? We never see him. That's because he doesn't want to be in any of these videos. That's just not his thing. So I respect his boundaries. Also, I don't film my kids unless they want to be filmed. And most of the times they don't. At least my oldest one doesn't. My youngest one, she likes to be in the videos. And my middle son, my middle child, some days he does, some days he doesn't. But you know, it's their choice, personal choice. So yeah, I respect my husband's wishes. He doesn't want to be on video. And he doesn't need to because he's working a lot. Next question is, where do you live? We live in Southern California near the coast, and that's all I'll say. How long have we been homeschooling? I think I mentioned it. Did I mention it earlier? I don't know. We've been homeschooling for 7 years. So when I found out I was pregnant with my first son, I knew I always wanted to homeschool. I knew, like, when I was teaching that if I ever had kids, I said I would homeschool them. And so I was pregnant, and so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna homeschool. And I kind of had second doubts when he was 3, just because everyone in our mom group was putting their kids in preschool, and I thought, oh, maybe I should do the same thing. So I did. Not a good experience. Not that the preschool was bad, it's just my son just did not want to go. Ended up pulling him out. I was pregnant or having a baby, and I just knew that it would just be too much for me. I get overwhelmed very easily, so it'd be too much for me to, have to do the whole wake up thing to get my kid to his school in time and then pick him up and everything when you have a baby. And so I pulled him out, and then I told myself, yeah, I'm going to homeschool him the rest of his life until he doesn't want to. And then I had second thoughts again, and I ended up putting him into it's like an alternative program called Open Classroom for kindergarten. Kind of unschoolish, but it was with a local school district, and they had, I don't know, they were trying to get rid of the program, so they were putting a lot of restrictions on it, and it wasn't as open as it should have been. So I kind of saw the writing on the wall, so at the end of that year, I took him out and homeschooled him ever since then. And my 2 youngest have been homeschooling since birth, so 7 years total, maybe more if you include, we're teaching them from the beginning, right? From the time they're born, so yeah, I don't know. It's all semantics, I guess. So how have I been? I've been good. I've just been hanging out. That question was from my hula teacher, and I miss you, Kumu Rona. I can't wait to get back to hula in the future. Hopefully, yeah, my son's gonna be 13 soon. So that means he can, he's already babysitting my youngest ones, like maybe for like 10, 20 minutes when I go walk the dog. But yeah, I think he's gonna be ready to babysit for like 3 hours or more. I used to dance hula, if you did not know that. I miss it, and I think that's one of the reasons why I started blogging and making these videos, because I just needed a creative outlet. This was easy, something I could do from home. Next question is, what are the main differences between a life coach and a therapist? A simplified version is therapy is about talking about your past and overcoming traumas, etc., where coaching, life coaching, or any type of coaching is future focused. So talking about the future, setting goals and making them happen. And so life coaching is just setting life goals, not so much work goals, but they could be work goals. So as a slow living coach, I help busy moms and dads too, to slow down and enjoy life, because we live in this like hustle and bustle kind of a world. We got to go, 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 do, be productive all the time. And we're just not living life. We're not enjoying it. We're just getting by. We're surviving. If you're interested in life coaching with me, I will leave a link down below where you can sign up for my wait list, because I don't think I'm gonna open up my doors until summertime, maybe. Plus I want to get my website all ready to go, and I'm picky. I need to get photographs done. And I've contemplated, should I take my own photographs, which I can. I used to, be a photographer, but it'd be easier just to pay someone else to take the photos and edit them for me. I'll call my friend, see if she's still available. I have a friend who used to be a homeschool mom. Her son is, graduated and he's doing well. She's an awesome photographer, but I don't know if she's still doing it. So excited for you. I want to know how homeschool stuff has changed. And I think the changes are just, I say this every year, that we're doing less. And it just keeps being like that. Every year we keep doing less and less and less. Just focusing on the essentials. So we only homeschool like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's when we do our daily work on those 3 days. Plus we have our classes, etc. And then on Fridays, we usually do some sort of like science kit or history kit, or go on field trips, just whatever works. And then on Mondays, we don't do anything. Usually Fridays are like our day of not doing anything. But I realized I need Mondays just so I can get my act together. But Mondays are good for me to do all like the admin stuff for my blog and all that crap. It's not crap, but you know what I mean? It's just, I feel like every year it's different. Like once you find your groove and then the next year things change. Like we had to do some changes for my oldest son, his classes, because 2 classes that he took a math and science class. His teacher unfortunately has some health issues, so she's no longer teaching these classes. I had to find ways to supplement those subjects. And I did with the science kits that I talked about earlier. Science Unlocked from Homeschool Tools. Science Unlocked from Home Science Tools. I always get this messed up. And then with math, just reinforcing just the basic skills and stuff. So he doesn't really like that I'm doing that, but just letting go. Yeah, just letting go of how I think things should be. Holding things tightly, just letting it be and just following my kids' leads, working on those basics. If you haven't used Write by Number, I highly recommend it. My son's writing has it's only been, in January and it's now March, so not even 3 months. And his writing has it's improved so greatly. Definitely recommend that program if you haven't used it yet. And on that note, I will leave this video up here for you to check out if you haven't heard about Write by Numbers. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.